Hello and welcome to another compilation of 3 mod videos that I've released recently. I've compiled all the mods from each video into this one, and quite a few people have said that they actually like this format, so here you go. But this will also be beneficial to anyone who missed or just hasn't seen the videos featured here. And the 3 videos, as well as the order they're in, is best Cyberpunk 2077 mods that you may have missed, cool Cyberpunk 2077 mods while we wait for patch 2.3, which still hasn't released, and then it finishes off with these Cyberpunk 2077 mods will revitalize your game. And believe me, they will. And there will also be timestamps for you, and I've also cut out all of the intros and outros to each video to keep it flowing. But without further ado, let's get into this compilation. Starting off with usable umbrellas, stay dry out there. You know those stylish umbrellas NPCs wave around while you're out getting soaked? Well, now you can equip one for yourself. With this mod, you can finally whip out a fully usable Militech tactical umbrella, a blunt class melee weapon that doubles as your personal rain shield, with raindrops falling off the edges and everything. There are 2 distinct shapes, the familiar round canopy, and that quirky square design, which is really more of a triangle, that you've seen NPCs twirling around. Only now, the canopy has been nudged a little higher so it doesn't clip your head. Both shapes come in 20 variants, lifted straight from the base game, so you can match any outfit. Getting your hands on one is easy. Junk vendors across Night City now keep umbrellas in stock. You can choose the shape, and the game randomizes the look. But if you need the perfect palette for a photo mode shoot, for example, the Kaizu Burger Virtual Atelier lets you pick an exact appearance. And if patience isn't your thing, a quick CET console command drops an umbrella straight into your inventory. Now, if you want this mod for photos, grab the Umbrella Poses mod, along with this, which will give you a pose pack for your umbrellas. But now, let's hop over to the next mod. Knowing there are a few motels around Night City, but not being able to rent a room has always been annoying to me. But with Rent a Motel, that changes now. At the Sunset Motel in the Badlands and the Kabuki Motel, you can pay a small fee and you'll get either room for the next 24 hours. You can sleep, shower, and stash gear, or just hang out there. Now, they aren't the most classy looking or the cleanest, but it's nice to have that option. The mod also adds icons to the map at each place as well. The Sunset Motel costs, I believe, 250 eddies, while the Kabuki Motel costs 500 eddies. In the near future, there will hopefully be support for other motels in the game, but for now, it's a nice little addition, and even added immersion. Now, moving over to interact with H10 Megabuilding. This mod adds a bunch of interactions around the megabuilding, such as sitting, leaning, and smoking to provide a more immersive experience. NPCs still wander around, of course, so occasionally, one of them will be in the seat that you want. Pair it with the H10 Megabuilding unlocked if you want more access to the megabuilding and some more areas to explore. Now, this next mod is made by the same person. Interact with Jig-Jig Street. So Jig-Jig Street has always been neon eye candy, but now it's interactive. This mod dials the city's red light district up from pretty backdrop to living hangout. Built on the native interactions framework, the mod sprinkles usable spots all over Jig-Jig's neon alleys and dim backrooms. So you can finally flop onto a bar stool, lean against a railing, light up a smoke, and have a more immersive experience. Most of the new nodes sit outside the clubs and parlors, but you'll still find a few outside benches and railing spots for late night hanging out. Honestly, it sells the vibe, and it's great that there's some more interactions here now. Okay, now the last interactions mod I have for today is more interactions, the Glen. Step out of the elevator and you can actually lean on the balcony rails, strum the guitar, play the record player on the coffee table, or kick back for a smoke and drink while the traffic hums below. There are quite a few mods of this type. Both Kratos and the Digital Soul 143 have been the mod creators of the last 3 mods that I've mentioned. They are a small touch that makes the selected area of the game just that little bit more immersive and interactive, and it's a nice refresher. But let's get over to some other mods. E3 Open Police Station lets you finally walk into the precinct that wowed everyone back in that 2018 demo trailer. The author pushed the barricades down, slid up the main roller door, and cleared the crap out of the way, so the underground parking garage is completely accessible. You can even roll in on your own wheels and nose around the parked squad cars for screenshots, for example. Once inside, you can see all the NCPD vehicles and even take them out for a spin if you feel like it. The place is quite empty, as I'm sure all the officers are out on the streets dealing with the major crime that Night City has. But it gives the place an eerie vibe. I believe during a mission we get to see inside the actual police station, but I think it would be cool if there were a mod where we could freely explore it. And I could be wrong about that mission, but I think I saw something like that ages ago. Anyways, it's a cool little mod, and it might just be a step closer to being able to explore the station. But moving on. Need some new wheels? Well, the Harley-Davidson Thundergod is something you may be interested in. It's more than a reskin, it's built from the ground up, a custom bike that sits longer and lower than the Arch Kasengadi, I'm just skipping over that name, or a Polo. To make that silhouette rideable, the author built a brand new rig and armature, so your rider animation actually hugs the stretched frame instead of hovering above it. Now, I didn't change the appearance, but the bike has 26 appearances that you can choose from. 8 chrome and quilted classics, 8 stealth matte paint jobs, 4 iridescent gradients, 4 vintage twin tones with white walls, and 2 showstoppers, a checkered cafe racer look, and a full flame wrap inspired by Brett Michaels. Now, if you want to swap skins on the fly, just install the Vehicle Customizer mod that is in the requirements. Hit your CAT keybind, open the menu, and you can cycle through every colorway without respawning the bike. Each variant keeps functional lights without gauges and bespoke engine sound effects, and on the road it feels heavy but deliberate, carving traffic with just enough agility to remind you that you're still riding a Harley, not a hovercraft. Now, if subtle isn't in your vocabulary, drop this onto your mod list. The Cadillac Escalade is a fully modeled beast from the exterior to the interior, with comfortable looking seating, a well-made dash, and tinted VIP glass. You can spawn it via CET or purchase it via the virtual car dealer. It drives mostly well, it just feels like a big car, with an optional file for a variety of colors as well. Overall, a pretty well-made mod, and I mean, it just looks incredible. But let's hop over to the next one. Fights just got harder with the reinforcement system. This mod lets every gang, plus Arasaka and Militech, radio for backup. The wave size and tier scale with your street cred, and an internal bounty that climbs the more trouble you cause. Each gang member or corpo grunt in the fight can radio for backup while you're fighting them. You'll see a little headset icon over their head when they are, and it takes around 20 seconds for them to make the call, but after that, if they succeed, the cavalry will roll in. Best part, calls can repeat every 60 seconds, so if you keep digging yourself deeper, the fight just keeps escalating until you're either flatlined or in a getaway car. And you can cancel the call by killing them, of course. And the mod also has a heap of settings that you can tweak at your leisure. After that mod though, window shopping from V's apartment now comes with a law-friendly courier service. Virtual Atelier delivery lets you treat Night City like one giant same-day shipping network, or day after shipping, depending what postage that you select. You can place an order using V's computer at any virtual Atelier store, and instead of the usual bland confirmation and the item magically appearing in your inventory, a slick branded panel pops up with all the details: store name, item count, item weight, and a running subtitle before shipping. From there, you can pick your speed, standard if you're happy to wait, priority if you need that item pretty fast. The menu instantly shows an ETA and the final cost. Then your order hits the system and you start getting in-game SMS updates as it moves from created to shipping to arrived. The drop point locker you choose lights up on your map, making the whole thing feel properly integrated into the city's economy. If the default timing doesn't suit you though, the mod has settings that you can adjust using either mod settings or the other mod settings mod. But the settings let you nudge the minimum and maximum delivery windows and even adjust how much heavier gear ramps up the price. Once you collect your haul, the order auto archives after 12 in-game hours, keeping your interface clean while your stash stays freshly stocked. No metro rides, no fast travel, just instant retail therapy straight to your corner of Night City. This mod was made quite a lot better than I had originally expected, and I'm very happy with this mod. It was something chaotic, creative, and honestly long overdue. Give 'em guns. This mod takes all those amazing weapons you've downloaded, modded iconics, experimental prototypes, whatever it may be, and gives them a second life in the hands of Night City's finest degenerates. If you're like me, you've probably got a stash bursting with guns that will never see the light of day. V's only got 3 weapon slots, and let's be real, we mod way more than that. So instead of letting them gather dust or selling them off for some pocket change, now you can do something way better. Give them to the goons. No, not gooners. This mod lets you assign your modded weapons to specific NPC factions across the city. Want to see a Tiger Claws walking around with those custom smart rifles you've downloaded? Or maybe give Maelstrom some absolute overkill tech shotguns? Easy. It's all handled through an in-game menu via one of the mod settings mods. It's one of those mods that's so simple in concept, but so genius in execution, you wonder why no one made it sooner. Easily one of my favorite gameplay tweaks in a long time. Next up is something that completely changes how gunfights feel. Visible bullets, part of the projectile bullets overhaul for Time Dilation Overhaul 2.0. This mod basically rips out the boring hit scan systems and brings back something way more dynamic, actual projectiles. Doesn't change how guns fire per se, but you can see projectiles now. We're talking real bullets in motion, like it used to be back in patch 1.6, before CDPR quietly removed it for who knows what reason, but now it's back, and I'm here for it. If you're running a slow-mo build, then this mod is probably what you've been waiting for. The mod author recommends to pair it with the mod Sandevistan customization for the best experience, which will allow you to basically make your Sandevistan as slow as you want. If you've ever wanted Cyberpunk's gunplay to feel like a proper shooter, less laser tag, more action movie shootout, this mod is essential. Paired with the right cyberware, and you've got one of the most satisfying combat overhauls in the entire modding scene. Alright, let's talk about consequences. Real ones. Because with the "you are under arrest" mod, dying in a police encounter isn't your only option anymore. This mod introduces an entirely new mechanic to Cyberpunk: getting arrested. Now, if you're caught by the NCPD or regional law enforcement and have been doing a little crime, they'll detain you and send you straight to prison. Now, just before I get into more details really quickly, you can still die by the police if you... Basically, how it works is if you commit like one crime or shoot one cop, they will then take you to prison after they detain you. But if you continue to cause havoc, you'll still get killed. But if you haven't been doing too much crime, you will be transported to a fully restored prison environment based on cut world assets from the game, and it's also been populated with new NPCs, as well as some light lore work to make it feel real. Apparently, the leader of the Valentinos is serving time there as well, and yeah, you can see him while you're locked up. But don't think it's a free sightseeing tour. As soon as you arrive, you get hit with a $5,000 processing fee, and if you get caught again, that fine stacks. So if prison becomes a habit, it's going to start hitting your wallet big time. Also, it's dangerous there. Not a retreat, more of a battlefield. The prison is home to more than just cops. You'll be stuck alongside corpsec inmates and other dangerous types, and not all of them are friendly, especially to mercs. Now, the modder behind this does mention it's still a work in progress, and they are new to modding. But even in its current state, it adds a gritty new layer of immersion. It's the kind of mod that rethinks how Cyberpunk's world reacts to you. Instead of always being shot on sight, there's now an actual system that punishes you, but doesn't quite flatline you. And it just makes Night City feel that little bit more alive. If CDPR doesn't add something like this in a future update, at least we've got this mod doing the work. Alright, now let's talk about something that looks like it eats Pan Am's truck for breakfast. The Galena GT Widebody. This mod is based on a concept version of the Thornton Galena GT that never made it into the final game, and honestly, the devs missed out. What we've got here is a fully remodeled wide-bodied beast. Rebuilt from the ground up, the entire body kit is new, the base Galena model has been heavily reworked, and under the hood, you're looking at a V8 twin-turbo engine transplant, complete with custom effects and pushing a ridiculous amount of power to all four wheels, or at least the back two wheels. I don't actually know the logistics of this thing, but it looks cool. Visually, this thing goes hard. You get 15 unique variants from glossy metallics to matte finishes, as well as a couple full body wraps. There's even a couple edge runner designs, but one of the standout features is the new automated air ride suspension. When you hop in the car, the suspension lifts up smoothly, step out, and it drops back down. I don't know if you can see it in the actual footage I got for the mod, but it adds so much flair and realism, and it looks so damn cool. All variants are accessible through the virtual car dealer system. You just browse the specific vehicle's page, and then you can hit colors and select a color or paint job that you want. Now, just a little heads up about this mod that I should mention is the handling. Despite what the mod page says, in my experience, without any vehicle handling mods installed currently, this thing drives like a boat. It's heavy, floaty, and definitely not as sharp as it looks. But you can always make it more manageable with a good handling mod, and I definitely recommend pairing it with one. That said, in terms of looks and sheer presence, it's easily one of the coolest vehicles you can park outside your mega building right now. Great for screenshots, cruising the city, or just flexing something different. Alright, just really quickly, if you're enjoying the video so far and haven't already, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I cover new and immersive Cyberpunk mods all the time, and I've got plenty more videos on the way after the patch. Also, drop a like and let me know your favorite mod in the comments, or just any mods that you feel I may have missed or should have been in the video, for example, as I'm always on the lookout for cool new mods. Alright, this next mod is pure performance and style, the Enzo Ferrari. This is a high-level mod, very well created, and the attention to detail is seriously incredible. I grabbed the yellow variant for my showcase, but it comes in 12 color options, including everything from clean white to deep black, bright pastels, full chrome, and a matte red that looks like it was dipped in danger. Pop the scissor doors and you're treated to one of the nicer interiors when it comes to a Cyberpunk vehicle mod. The dashboard isn't just for looks, it's got a fully functional clock, gear indicator, and light indicators, and even RPM lights on the steering wheel that glow as you hit the red line. There's 4 different interior colors spread across the variants, so they all feel slightly unique. And if you're taking out for a proper cruise, the spoiler dynamically raises when you hit speed, and there's custom handling and top speed values to reflect how the real Enzo performs. I'd assume. I'm just guessing with that part, but anyway. It's fast, responsive, and deadly quiet until it isn't. The modder even added custom scanner data, full smoke, and backfire effects. This thing isn't just a car mod. It's a showpiece whether you're tearing up the streets, staging a photo shoot, or just rolling up to the afterlife with maximum corpo energy. This is easily one of the best vehicle additions in the modding scene right now. And now we're finishing it up with a straight up classic, the Lotus Esprit Turbo, brought into Cyberpunk 2077 and decked out with some awesome customization. This car is so cool. You've got 12 color options ranging from neon greens and reds to silver chrome and blacked out stealth colors, but that's not all. The mod also includes the faux mod installer, meaning you can mix and match 6 different spoilers, 8 wheel types, light bars front and rear, a splitter, roll cage, and even the option to remove badges and stripes for a cleaner look. Whether you want a showroom classic or something race ready, this car car's got the options. And there's also an animated wiper fluid container in the trunk bay. Yes, it's animated. It's absurdly detailed in the best way. But quite possibly my favorite thing when it comes to car mods, well, when they have them, of course, is the pop-up lights. They are so cool. Another cool feature is the exhaust changes color based on the temperature and RPM. There's a spinning fan on the engine cooler, which is also very cool. And as for interior, well, that also looks incredible. Yes, it's not as flashy as some of the other car parts, but I think that's how it's meant to be. Handling wise, I have no complaints whatsoever. This is easily one of the best retro vehicle mods for Cyberpunk right now. It's not just about looking cool, it drives well, has great customization options, and nails the aesthetic of a forgotten classic surviving in a high-tech future. Plus the pop-up headlights, don't forget those. Now, on the topic of cars, before I end the video off, can we get more car mods that have the foam mod installer that allow you to put neon like underglow on them, because that is cool, man. The Tiger Claws have it, why can't we? Kicking things off with the Yucca Restored mod. If you've ever played through the Nomad life path, you might remember a small town out in the Badlands that you begin your story at. Well, that place is called Yucca, and this mod brings it back to its original glory, with NPCs and vehicles populating the area, as well as that absolute doofus of a sheriff being there as well. And yes, I attempted to unalive him, but I wasn't allowed, unfortunately. Anyways, the mod adds life, motion, and atmosphere to the area like the game left it in that opening sequence. Now technically, this place isn't supposed to be accessible anymore, so to get there, this mod also removes the barriers near the border. That means no more invisible walls or insta-death zones, just an open road leading you back to what was once a thriving little town. Now, while the physical barriers are gone, the game still considers the border a no-no zone. So if you try to head there through the checkpoint, the guards will open fire. If you're planning to visit, make sure you're armed or ready to drive very fast. Optionally, you can just fast travel straight to Yucca, as there is a fast travel terminal added there as well now. Still, once you're there, it's a nice experience, like stepping back into the beginning of the game and unlocking a location you were never really meant to return to. If you're into world building, hidden spots, or just seeing parts of Night City that were cut off from the main game, this one's absolutely worth it. But next up is Immersive Sidearm ADS. And while this might sound like a small tweak, it actually makes a pretty noticeable difference during moment-to-moment gunplay, especially if you use pistols a lot. The mod adjusts how you hold sidearms while aiming down sights. Instead of that super close-up, zoomed-in perspective the game usually gives you, this mod pushes the weapon further away, creating a much more natural and immersive field of view. There's no artificial zoom when using iron sights. It's clean, it's grounded, and it just feels better. If you like the raw feel of shooting without the game interfering visually, you'll really enjoy this one. It's also compatible with sights too, so if you've got a pistol build using optics, those will still work perfectly fine. It's also super lightweight and doesn't make any heavy or irreversible changes. You can install or remove it at any point during your playthrough. There's even an optional version that only tweaks the iron sights, which can be great for maintaining compatibility with other weapon mods or overhaul packs. Altogether, it's a subtle enhancement that once you've tried it, you might not want to go back. Alright, if you're after something completely ridiculous, but also somehow still deadly effective, you've got to check out the Makigai Vengeance Pod. This thing takes the tiniest car in Night City, the May, and turns it into a weaponized funmobile. It now comes outfitted with not one, but 2 heavy guns mounted on a rotating turret system, complete with auto-targeting functionality, which I don't believe I've ever seen on a vehicle in Cyberpunk 2077. But yes, imagine a miniature smart car with the firepower of a military gunship. And not just normal firepower, it's the smart bullets. So it locks on and just dinks. It just dinks. The mod page proudly advertises its reverse recoil propulsion tech, which is a fancy way of saying this little pod flies. You'll hit speeds that feel completely unnatural for this car, and it handles surprisingly well too, which just adds to the chaos. You can drift around corners and mow down enemies with cannon fire like you're in some dystopian Sunday morning cartoon. There are also a bunch of appearances to pick from, ranging from reds down to metallic gold or silver, in the colors of course, and some stripy stripe ones as well. So yeah, whether you're going for a hot pink or a matte black, there's a skin here that will fit your mood or style. It's pure comedy at first glance, but under the surface, the Vengeance Pod is a fully functional tactical vehicle that can absolutely hold its own in combat. And the best part, it doesn't break immersion. It redefines it in the most cyberpunk way possible. Now, the only thing that wasn't incredible about this mod was the missiles. They didn't always target who I wanted to blow up. But, I mean, you know. But next is the Genesis X Gran Berlinetta, a car that feels like it was pulled straight from a luxury concept garage and dropped straight into Night City. This thing is sleek, aggressive, and it just oozes futuristic class. The body design is inspired by high-end concept cars, and it looks every bit as expensive as it drives. From the aerodynamic curves to the crisp blade-like headlights and full-width taillight, the ride fits perfectly into the high-end lifestyle you'd imagine for, say, Corpo V. But what really sells this mod isn't just how it looks, it's the level of control you get over it. Once installed, you unlock a full customization menu powered through the mod's simple menu integration. You can change the paint color, apply different liveries, swap out the front splitter, side skirts, rear splitter, roof panels, hooks, and even the rear wing, and more. Like, it has a lot of options, and all that without even closing your game. You're not locked into just one version of this car, it becomes your own high-end project. Want a gold finish with a matte black roof and a racing wing? Easy, just tap a few buttons and you've got exactly that. There is even interior options that you're allowed to change. Speaking of the interior, it's fully modeled, complete with a sleek digital dash and custom wheel. It's clean, modern, and doesn't feel one single bit out of place. If you're after a new favorite supercar that doesn't just look good, but feels like a piece of high-end tech, this one should be in your garage already. Before we continue, if you're enjoying the video and want to stay updated on the latest mods for Cyberpunk 2077, consider subscribing to the channel. Your support helps me bring more content like this to you. With that said, let's get back into the video. Now, this next one is a visual treat. The Matrix Crystal Coat mod. This mod adds a custom animated paint job via the Crystal Coat feature. Well, of course, but it honestly surprised me at how cool this thing looks. It overlays a scrolling Matrix coat effect onto a select group of vehicles, and each one is custom tuned to that car's model and shape. So it's not just some generic shader that's slapped onto the selected vehicles, but right now this mod supports 5 vehicles: the Rayfield Caliburn, the Erendite, the Xion, the Quadra Turbo R, and the Type 66. And as I said earlier, we're not talking a one-size-fits-all paint here. Each effect is hand-built to fit the body of each car. But how do you get it, you ask? Well, there's a new vendor sitting inside the Kabuki Netrunners shop who sells the Matrix coats. You can also spawn them in via the console, but seriously, just watching this coat ripple over your car under the neon signs at night is worth grabbing it alone. It's one of the most impressive vehicle visuals I've seen ever. There is also the Maelstrom Crystal Coat mod, which is made by the same person. I do believe I checked that. So yeah, feel free to check that one out as well. Out of the two, my favorite is definitely the Matrix one. It just looks best, in my opinion. I just like the vibe of it. Now, for a couple mods to enhance the user interface. For a nice subtle improvement, I've grouped these 3 mods together, but they go a long way to making the game feel that little bit more polished and refreshing. And they also complement each other very well. Starting off with the Orion UI HUD Painter preset. This one's a refined preset that adjusts the HUD's colors for better contrast and visual consistency. It leans away from the vanilla green and yellow tones and instead goes for a more modern red and teal palette. It keeps the spirit of the original look, just sharper and cleaner, as well as a little bit easier on the eyes, if you ask me. Then we've got Big Compass Around Circle minimap. If you're like me and want better situational awareness and better visibility of the compass, this one's for you. It wraps a large, clean compass around the minimap, giving you better directional context without cluttering the screen. It just makes navigation on the minimap feel a bit more natural. And lastly, subtle HUD and user interface tweaks. This mod lives up to its name. It makes small adjustments to fonts and UI colorings across the board. Nothing drastic, but enough to notice. The whole thing ties together well with Orion and the Compass mod, giving you a sleeker and more immersive interface without breaking away from Cyberpunk's vibe. And for me at least, I just wanted some nice subtle changes to the game UI. I'll be looking around for some more, so please feel free to let me know in the comments any other UI mods that I should check out. But let's get over to the next mod for today. H10 Bone. This mod gives V's H10 apartment a much more grounded and realistic vibe. The whole space has been reimagined, with a cleaner layout and a few big changes. The vending machine is gone, and in its place you have a nice little closet where you would technically put your stash and your weapons. Now, what happened to the stash, you may be thinking? Well, that has been replaced with a goddamn kitchen. It looks sick, complete with ambient details that make the space feel way more livable. There's been quite a few changes across the board here. The bathroom is mostly the same. It might be slightly more sleek and cleaner though, but it completely changes the tone of the apartment while staying pretty immersive. I just love the whole actual living room vibe, if you know what I mean. Like, you've got like carpet around, you've got a nice wooden ceiling, well, it looks wooden with some beams and stuff across it, and overall it just feels a lot more cozy and functional. Now, I will say it is recommended to make sure that you're using the default Snowbreed Tiger makeover through the in-game computer. Otherwise, the changes will not load in properly. As you can see here, the new stash door is actually blocked off by the vending machine, I believe, which is actually meant to be gone. But because I had a different apartment makeover on, there was a few issues that I had. But as soon as you switch it back to the default apartment makeover, all those issues dissipate and don't exist anymore. But yeah, overall, this apartment is very clean and super sleek. The addition of the kitchen is my favorite part for sure. I know there was kind of a kitchen in the base apartment, but just having an actual kitchen room is so much cooler, and I didn't even think you could move the stash. Like, that's good job, Model Fuck. But if H10 Bone isn't your vibe at all, and you want something with a lot more of a chaotic and underground vibe, then Cyberden is your answer. This mod gives the apartment a completely different personality. Grungy, cluttered, and packed with character. It feels like a true Netrunner's hideout with glowing signs, scattered tech, worn out furniture, and a whole mess of personality in every corner. It's a totally immersive rework of the apartment with every section telling its own story. From the food cooking on the stove to the LED lit bedroom and bathroom area. The lighting feels intimate, the walls are tagged up, and it's just enough visual noise to make it truly feel lived in. This one also runs through Archive XL, and just like the Bone version, it will conflict with any other mods that mess with the H10 layout. So pick your flavor, clean and modern or a chaotic cyberpunk den. But moving on, we're wrapping things up with something wild. This is the M9 project, the weaponized version of the Wobbler. It's a top secret Militech prototype with fusion magjet propulsion, built deep underground in the Militech Special Projects department by a still missing engineer named Thomas Starr. The lore around this thing alone is pretty cool, but the actual bike, even better. It's a fully weaponized single-wheel monster with a TIE Fighter style stabilizer system, directional jet propulsion, and a unique crystal dome vision system for riding in first person. You can aim its weapons by steering and leaning, and it's got enhanced handling both on and off-road. There's even a player stash built into the back, which is a really nice touch. It doesn't replace any other vehicles either, it's a full add-on, which is always appreciated. Now, full transparency, when I recorded the footage for this mod, there was basically just no audio for it. But don't worry, the mod author is aware, and odds are that it will be patched pretty quickly if it isn't already. The ride still feels fantastic, and it's absolutely worth checking out. Alright, thank you very much for watching this compilation video. Hopefully you found some great new mods for your game. If you want even more mods, check out my channel for a bunch more. Thank you again for watching. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like. Until next time, goodbye and happy modding.